Welcome to AppCircle. Today we're going to take a look at how to bind your public or private GitHub repo to your build profile. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to want to do, of course, is to log in. And once we've done that, you can go over here on the left to the hammer or the middle of the page where it says build. Either one will take you to the same place. Up here in the top right, we click on Add New. And for this build profile, we will name it Private Test. I'm going to use a drop down here that you can't see because of the way the camera works. I'm choosing Android, which will appear right here. Flutter is the source code, and we'll save it. Now that brings us to an interesting question. Are you the owner of the repo, or are you simply on the team or organization and have access to it? This is important because if you're not the owner of the repo, then this procedure from here on is not going to work for you. You're going to need to bind via SSH, and this has been a point of confusion in the past for some people. They have trouble connecting to the repo when they're part of the team, but the fact is they don't own it, so they can't do it this way. But if you are on the team, you can connect via SSH. It's just a different video. So, getting back to it here. The next thing to do is click anywhere here on the square except for the three dots. And when we do that, we're now brought over to this screen and we want to click on GitHub. So that brings us to yet another question, and that is, have you already connected your AppCircle account to your GitHub account? Because if you have not, then when you try to do that right there, what you're going to get is this. So you will get that error if you have not attached just yet. So we'll click on GitHub, and right here it says, are you missing a repository? So this is where we want to go for the moment. And I am on the AppCircle DevRel account, so we'll click that one. Yes, we're going to authorize. And we come right back here, and it shows a list of all of the repos. So we're going to use private test. Now, the only other thing to do here is to go up in the upper right to config and click auto build. This will allow you to build on push. And also, if you want to be running tests on Flutter, then you go over to the workflows. Now this is covered in another video, but I'm just taking a quick look here. It's default push workflow. We're going to edit it. Scroll down to Flutter test. Drag it in between Flutter install and Flutter build, because of course we want to install Flutter first before we run the tests. And if the tests fail, we don't want to bother building. So there's that. And we should be good to go. So the next thing we're going to do is take a look at our code. The simplest way to do this is to change the test. Now I just changed it from a failing result to what should be a passing result. So let's see here. We'll call this passing test. Commit that. So now that we have committed this, let's push. And when we do, ta-da, there's our build. Now, the only other thing to keep in mind is that this works for both public and private repos. It really doesn't matter. So now you know what you're doing. Why are you still watching me? Go back to work.